Well, music video night tonight, guys. We haven't done one of those in a real long time where it's been strictly, really, not much talking at all until now. There was no talking until now. But I'm trying to get back into the habit of kind of sharing everything we're doing because I got out of the habit of running the camera for a little while. You guys were seeing where we'd only get one upload a week or no uploads, and I actually feel better when I'm getting a lot of content out, and it's not just for an analytics thing. I enjoy it more when I'm pumping it out, as long as we can pump out stuff that is decent and not garbage. But anyway, we have this wall pulled out tonight. It's a good after work project. We have the next one to come out, but that one's going to take a lot more doing because that workbench that we've already moved once, that I have totally filled with crap, has to get emptied off. That's got to come out of there. Huge pile of lumber right here. All these hemlock boards, they have to go. And I'm going to have to find a new home for the walnut, but what I'm thinking, the metal cutting saw, the power hacksaw and all that's going to end up in here. Anything having to do with any type of that production, the welder, the hacksaw, all that. The freezer, because we're going to close that door off over there. The freezer I have in the corner, that's going to move possibly under the stairs. I haven't decided yet. But so probably against that wall out there, we will move all our sticker stacked lumber to. Because over here it's mostly a, what do we have? 2 rows deep of some nice big black walnut slabs that we milled last summer. And they have about another 1.5 years to dry before they're usable. So I have to find a spot where I'm not going to be tripping on them and they're not going to be in the way of all this. The Gravely's going to go out in the other section. That other section probably is going to get filled up so fast and we won't be able to do a heck of a lot in there. We'll try to keep the main doors open as best as we can to get, to get the tractors in to work on them. But that's where we're at. I've had so many comments over the last 3.5 years of, why do you put everything together with screws? Why do you get a nail gun? It's so much quicker. When you're like me, you spend so much time changing your plans, changing up what you're going to do. It's always better for me to put things together with screws because a few months later, I may end up tearing it out until I decide on the proper course of what I want to do. See, I've never had a big blank slate like this to work with. You guys saw the old pit of despair, what that thing was like. I mean, it was tiny and I had everything. There's still tools in there I'm still pulling out all the time. But so having a blank slate for me this size, it's awful hard to sometimes for me to envision exactly how it's going to turn out. Even if I write it down, draw it out, I have trouble envisioning that. But now that we've done a little more with the blacksmithing and the tool making, I'm getting a little more appreciation for how I want things where. So having my anvil and everything and the forge works all stuffed into a little corner, that's no good. That needs to be more of a centralized thing in our blacksmith shop. I could see that coming out into here more and having a proper exhaust so we're not listening to that damn blower all the time going out the wall, and I do have pipe for that. The welding hood and all that, that was just something I threw together to get it done fast. That's going to be changing also. Pretty much everything about that area, now that we can kind of spread out, is going to be changing. I'm learning, and I knew this a long time ago, that having a drill press sitting on a workbench when you're drilling metal is just stupid. Because all it does is you just get metal filings all over everything that's on that bench, and it just becomes a pain to deal with. So really we need to make a stand for that. Eventually we will get a nice big floor-mounted drill press, but that's probably going to be a ways off. The grinder and buffer and stuff I have on the bench, that really needs to have its own stand as well. So we're probably going to be building some tool stands. What I'd like to do is dedicate a section of wall, probably on this end where we have metal already, and we'll still put metal up on one side. It's going to look goofy, but at the same time, it's so much safer simply because I want to have an area set up for grinding and things like that. And if I have an area where I know I'm going to have a lot of sparks, I kind of want that set up properly just so I don't have to worry about burning the place down. But the welder we'll probably have towards the front because I keep it on a cart, and then we can roll it out into the front part of the barn and do some welding. I have really long leads on it. So I want to be able to, it needs to be adaptable to whatever I'm doing as far as that goes. The forge press obviously is going to have to be near the forge. We're going to end up building a ribbon burner forge also because it's just something I could turn on and off when I'm out here, especially those nights where you only have an hour to work and you don't want to wait for the coal forge to get heated up and then you have to sit there until it goes out. Definitely kind of want to get away from that. The coal would probably use more when we have larger blocks of times on the weekends and things like that because I do love forging out of the coal. So anyway, that's where we're at. That's what's going on. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. We're going to try to get back to doing semi-daily uploads here, so we'll see what develops. So anyway, have a good one, everybody, and I'll catch you on the next one.